So, Kano is in the throes of a political defection that cuts deep. Governor Abba Yusuf, the man Rabiu Kwankwaso handpicked, sold to voters and installed as the NNPP's biggest governing prize, has now walked straight into the APC and publicly aligned himself with Abdullahi Ganduje, Dr. Kwankwaso's longtime rival and political antagonist. In Kano's political grammar, this isn't pragmatism, it's rupture. It's the protege choosing shelter over loyalty, power over pedigree, survival over structure. And the timing is everything, with 2027 already casting a long shadow. This move reads less like ideology and more like insurance. A governor betting that the APC machine matters more than the movement that brought him to power. So tonight the question isn't whether Abba Yusuf defected, it's what he defected from: a political family, a national ambition, or a man whose grip on Kano may be slipping. And in choosing Ganduje over Kwankwaso, has Abba Yusuf secured his future or signed his political divorce papers? And how much is all this an early warning of a gathering storm in Kano ahead of 2027? Well, for more on this, I'm suitably delighted to say that I'm joined now in the studio by the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the NNPP, Engineer Buba Galadima, who is an ally of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. Thank you very much. The way you looked at me there, you looked despairingly at me. Like, what on earth is he talking about? But somebody said that finding Buba Galadima, you'd have to go on a manhunt if you want to get him on television. And I can certainly say that we went on a manhunt.
Definitely.
Fortunately, we looked at the right place, and there you were.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in. So,
yeah.
Governor Yusuf has now defected. Did he do so in the interest of the people of Kano State or in his own interest? What is your assessment?
His own personal interest, not Kano.
Right. So do you see Governor Yusuf's move to the APC as a betrayal of Dr. Kwankwaso or a survival decision forced by political reality, something you're well familiar with, because you yourself have moved from one camp to the other?
No.
Over time.
Had Governor Yusuf moved from NNPP to another platform other than APC, I could have said he moved well. But in this case, it is only a matter of survival, not Kano people, not the peace in Kano he wanted us to swallow. We can neither take any of the above. As you know, I wish in the course of this our discussion, you would give me 3 minutes to read a piece sent for me from US just now by Dr. Naoke Ufere, PhD.
Well, you can summarize it for us, because 3 minutes is a long time to read something.
We have not yet arrived there. We have to start that in the middle of the conversation, right, so that people would know how other people outside Kano, Nigeria, think of this betrayal. And I want to say with clarity that this betrayal is the third in the history of the whole world. One, by Judas against Jesus. First betrayal, Nabi Isa alayhi salam. The second was Brutus against the Caesars. Now the third one that ought to go to the World Guinness Book of Records is the one just announced by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano.
But some analysts say...
That is why
our
leader had asked that the world should declare the 23rd of January, every 23rd of January, the world's greatest betrayal day.
So it sounds like you guys must be really hurt. I mean, this cut really deep, didn't it?
Charles, you see me wearing white hair. You don't know my age. I am well above 75.
Well, you look pretty good, to be honest.
And if I could shed tears on anything, it must have touched me beyond expression, because I don't give into sentiments. Just like that, I could remember my journey to Umuaulu in Anambra State, 2 a.m. by road from Enugu to Oka, from Oka to Umuaulu, just to go and secure a platform that the greatest beneficiary is Abba Kabir Yusuf. I could remember for 3 days, me and Konkoso never had a blink of an eye, let alone sleep. And there is nothing under the sun we didn't do for Abba to prevail. And he did prevail. And the way he prevailed, unknown to many Nigerians, was the man who took our victory in 2019 and gave it to Ganduje, General Buhari, was the architect of making Abba Kabir Yusuf the governor of Kano.
That's an
the
interesting
world
angle.
needs to know.
That's an interesting angle.
Yes. No, because Abba Kabir Yusuf had left to God, the house of God, and went to the house of President Tinubu. He left to God for a human being. It was Ganduje using his own words and abused Buhari, even though he took our victory and gave him in 2019. He called him Habuna Habu. Do you know the meaning of Habuna Habu?
No, I don't.
It was a song sung by the famous Hausa musician, Alhaji Muhammad Shatta of Katsina. Habuna Habu was an outstanding drunkard who will go to the bar, drink, walk on the streets naked, or sleep on the streets, or sleep under the tree. Then there was no overhead bridge. That was Habuna Habu. Ganduje called General Muhammadu Buhari without mentioning his name. And Buhari felt bitter. When we won election and they wanted to take it, Magaji Bichi, the former DSS director, if he fears God, he can narrate the story. And when he writes his memo, he needs to put that. Buhari put down his feet and said, that boy won election in 2019. We took it away. Now he won. Give him his victory. You see how God works.
Right.
Charles, don't interrupt me there, because that's what you intend to do.
No, but we can't. It's
no,
not a monologue.
You called me for a purpose.
Yes.
You wanted
we
to
didn't call you for a monologue. We called you for a
it's
dialogue.
not a monologue.
Well, I mean, if you're talking by yourself, then it clearly
everybody is interested in this story.
We'll finish
that somebody
the story,
for once,
but make
especially
it brief.
Buba Galadima, can talk good of Buhari. They took us to court. The tribunal came to give judgment in our favor. I want to tell the world today. They abducted them, brought them to Abuja, and they were given a written judgment. They said we lost. We went to Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal was intimidated to give judgment to Gauna. We all know, and we know all the dramatic personnel in this matter. We went to Supreme Court. God, in his infinite wisdom, 3 judges out of the panel of 5 said they will never cause a bloodbath in Kano. I don't want to mention their names. That this boy was on record to have won his election in 2019. And it was taken away from him by force. And the judiciary didn't help him. This time, there could not be alibi to injustice. So Abba Kabir Yusuf was made the governor of Kano through the processes of court and through the assistance of Buhari. Meaning that God was at work. Now they were telling people that they called, that even if we win election, the APC will take it. So why don't we join them? Meaning that he has forsaken God and the inability of God to do justice. And he thought APC and President Tinubu will announce him. Even if he wins an election, it is a temporary victory. God will visit him.
Well, all victories on earth are temporary because they eventually end, whatever the circumstances are. But let me ask you this, because some analysts say Abba Yusuf has liberated himself from the overbearing influence of Dr. Kwankwaso. I think it was actually my colleague, Dr. Ruben Abati, who said that this morning. What's your reaction to that?
Well, Kwankwaso didn't partake in his government. 3 months into his tenure, he abandoned Kwankwaso and caused his media handlers to paint Kwankwaso in black paint. But we decided not to say a word for a simple reason. We wanted him to come out with his own mouth to announce that Kwankwaso was a bad man. After all, if they meet in public, he treats Kwankwaso like a king. But beyond that public appearance is something else.
Right.
I'm coming. You asked a question. Which the nation needs.
But you're not going to take forever to answer the question.
No. If
you need to be pithy in your answers.
Yes, Charles. Yes, Charles.
Because the next thing you're going to say to me, where did the time go?
No,
and you're the one who
promised me 1 hour.
No, I didn't promise you 1 hour.
That's what you told me.
No. We didn't have any discussion about time.
Okay, let's not waste my time. Allow me to land.
Yeah, okay, land.
So, we said we wouldn't say anything. They called us names. They said we were working for Tinubu. They said when they were the people that were hobnobbing with President Tinubu and his people in government. So, we decided to keep quiet and allow him to use his own mouth to say he's leaving us, such that we can have the sympathy of the people of Kano. And this is exactly what is happening. If today there is any election, free and fair, Abba Kabir Yusuf cannot get 5% of the votes of Kano people.
Right. So let me ask you this, because from everything we know, Senator Kwankwaso personally midwifed Abba Yusuf's rise. In Kano politics, as in politics generally, that creates a debt. Has that debt now been formally defaulted on by Abba Yusuf?
You should know better. You just showed me a picture depicting Ganduje and Balau Jibril raising Abba's hands. If this happens to somebody from my own community in Yobe, Bade, the man will commit a suicide. Because both Jibrin and Ganduje were not Konkoso's adversaries. They were Konkoso boys made by Konkoso. All of them. Kau Smela, I can see them. Kau Smela, Barau Jibrin, Ganduje, who is there again? All of them were Konkoso boys. They went through the crucible of Konkoso's political crucible.
So that must hurt him really bad to see them one after the other.
I didn't land.
But it should also lead to
I
soul
said it
searching.
didn't land.
Let me just make this point.
I didn't land. When I land, you can ask your next question.
Just very quickly, it should also lead to soul searching about why these people keep leaving.
Yes. I can give you that answer, but let me land.
Yeah.
You know for sure that if Ganduje had a chance, he could kill Kankoso. Because he stopped him physically by using thugs.
Well, that's an allegation
yes,
that we
you have to protect your television station.
Yeah, because you can't make allegations. You can't make allegations.
Why
like
don't
that.
Didn't he stop him from going to Kano for 3.5 years?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
that did he or not?
You can't make an allegation like that.
How many times was Konkoso attacked in Kano?
Yeah. Well, there's no evidence showing that there's a link between the two. So and unless
I know you are protecting your TV station.
Well,
I accept that.
We're also
I
protecting.
We're also accept my apology.
Protecting
accept my apology.
Legal principle, which is that somebody is innocent until proven guilty.
Accept my apology.
Right.
For that.
Let me.
You didn't.
Well, yeah, because you're veering off.
I'm not
in
veering.
directions.
I'm on course. You are the one that is veering. You said he nurtured them and they dispersed.
Right.
Is there nothing wrong? It's also because you have not listened to the same Alhaji Muhammad Shatta, the famous Hausa singer, who said, let me use small Hausa, said that, Dan Adam, itace yake ka dasa shi, ya girma ya lub, sai ka so zama ya kore ka. Meaning that you plant a tree, water it, it grows, makes leaves. When you come to sit, it sucks you. It's jealousy.
Yeah.
They felt that Konkoso is too domineering and too acceptable to the ordinary people of Kano. How can they destroy him? That is why all of them now got together.
Yeah, but
to think they will destroy Konkoso,
from another,
they cannot.
And
I want to say,
I'm
coming. I want to say that Abba, during his speech, he gave a message to Ganduje to take to President Tinubu. Did you get that message?
What is the message?
He said on record that he has stopped blind loyalty. I don't think he's sending this message to Konkoso because he's already nakeded Konkoso in the marketplace. So how can he do blind loyalty to him? He's sending this message to his new masters, Tinubu and Ganduje, that he's not going to do a blind loyalty to them.
Did he have any loyalty to the NNPP, which is the party that you're the secretary of the board of trustees?
I have no evidence, at least not commensurate with our input.
Because I'm wondering,
I'm
wondering about the NNPP's grip on its own governor and its elected officials.
I don't think he has ever been NNPP. He was only a beneficiary of the NNPP. And God saved Konkoso because he would have lost his base political support because the people of the NNPP felt that they were not recognized by the governor. And this is what happened when he gave the last palliatives, parting gift to Ganduje's councillors and chairmen, 15.8 billion naira. When he finished, somebody in the crowd said, Your Excellency. He looked, he said, now that you have paid your enemies, how about those of us who supported you? Where is our share? That person was arrested, and all those people around that place were arrested and taken to prison. So he wasn't working for NNPP, he was actually working for APC.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because we're running out of time and I'm getting worried, because I know you get really difficult when time is running out. But why do you think he chose former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, who you could say is the face of everything the Kwankwasiya movement opposed? And in that regard, looking at the elephant in the room, what does it mean for Dr. Kwankwasiya that his former rival, Abdullahi Ganduje, is now the one offering Abba Yusuf political shelter?
I'm not Kwankwaso, but not Kwankwaso, feels extremely bitter that our victory is taken to our enemy, who made us to have sleepless nights and use our resources, put our lives online to secure victory for Abba Kabir Yusuf. And today he's abandoning us to acquire a new master in the name of Ganduje, who is but everything bad in Nigerian politics. It's a bad product. Yeah. And man, he called several bad names. Too many to mention. Too many to say. Unprintable. Now he chose him to be his master.
And you
that
are, of
should
course,
pain you, not even me.
Well, I mean, I'm simply here to observe what's going on. And you are
a Nigerian.
You are an NNPP chieftain. You're a member of the party's board of trustees. In fact, you're the secretary of the board. Do you see this? How do you, I mean, when you put this defection against the impact it's had on the NNPP, is this the beginning of a structural unraveling of the NNPP?
No,
because,
sir.
I mean, he's the only governor you had.
That doesn't,
and he's taken quite a lot of other people with him.
Before he became governor, we never had a councillor, House of Assembly, rep, senator, or governor. And without anything and anybody, we made him and others. What stops God from doing that miracle? That is why I have to go and read the little written by Dr. Ofere, who is a leading voice in African public thought and policy, and writes weekly opinion column for the African Mind Journal. Just small part.
Yeah, but you can't read 3
No,
minutes
just small of it.
Just small of it. We'll run out of time.
Just small of it, sir. Just small of it. Don't
20
worry.
seconds.
No. 2 minutes.
No. You can't do 2 minutes.
Politics.
Otherwise, it'll be the end of the discussion.
Politics, like biology, has limits. A parasite that destroys its host does not survive. The host is the source of life and sustenance for the parasite. Only a suicidal parasite, therefore, attempts to destroy its host. A politician who turns against the platform and people that gave him relevance risks political extinction. This is a lesson Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf and his cohorts appear not to have learned.
Okay, well, we've got the gist of it. Let me ask you this, because we're running out of time. And when it's not every day we have you sitting here, so we want to get as much from you.
You never wanted to get me.
No, hold on. I always want to get you, but let's just widen the conversation a little bit, because you insist that President Tinubu will lose in 2027 if the election is free and fair. That's a big if. Are you saying that the real battle is not popularity but control of the process? And if so, what evidence do you see today that the system is being positioned to favor the ruling APC party? As briefly as you can.
Charles, I never knew that you are that
corny
and intelligent at the same time.
It's my job to ask you questions.
Do you need any soothsayer to tell you why Tinubu wants to make sure that all the 36 governors migrate to his own party?
Well, I want you to be the one saying it.
You don't know?
No.
In fact, what puzzles me...
I'm simply asking you.
What puzzles me and intrigues me is, he said he won election in 2023. Why does he need anybody again if he has performed well? He can maintain his votes and still become president. Why does he want to... And I want to remind President Tinubu, in Hausa there is a saying that Wanzami baya son jarfa. When Ambode was alleged to have done something against him, he refused him a 3rd term.
Yeah, that's a former governor of Lagos
State. So why is he now encouraging betrayal on other political figures?
Well, he would say, and his people have said, that they're not encouraging betrayal, that the other parties are falling apart and people are simply gravitating towards the APC because that's the safest party in the country at the moment.
By using the EFCC and the ICPC and coercing the judiciary.
Well, let me ask you what unfortunately will end up... You look almost threatening there.
Yes, because you want to sack me.
I must run away from here. But let me ask you a question that is unfortunately almost a final one. If 2027 ends up being neither free nor fair, which you say that that's the only way that the ruling party is going to win, that's your fear. What is Nigeria going to look like the morning after?
Nobody, I want to tell you, can afford to rig the elections in 2027. Nobody. Let them try it. We will all go down with it.
Well, I seem to remember you saying the same thing at every election cycle. You always said the same thing, and then you had to accept whatever the outcome was.
You want to force me to say to talk about what I can do. That's what you are aiming at.
I'm not trying to force you.
I say they can't rig the election. Anybody that rigs this election will rig out his life.
Okay.
I want to assure you that one. Nigeria is no more the Nigeria of yesterday. We are sophisticated. We've got restive young men and women who are very, I don't know, with the system, and they cannot allow people like you to cheat them.
Why me? I'm not a politician.
You mean the Nigerian farmers? You mean the Nigerian farmers will allow Tinubu's government to come back?
Well,
to destroy agriculture?
Right. Okay.
Huh?
Well, we're going to
or the young men who have no jobs and they see their colleagues riding. Go and ask Shoyinka when he saw President's son. So what would my son say?
Right.
He has no access to even civil defense. And somebody's son is going with military cantonment.
On that note, it bleeds my heart, but I have to say that this fascinating interview has to sadly come to an end. Engineer Buba Galadima, Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the NNPP and an ally of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, thank you very much indeed.
Charles, next time, if you don't have sufficient time for me, don't call me.
I shall make a note of that.